माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी. Door is not open. Somebody came. It's locked. यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी
2.4
यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी
42 43 అయిపోయింది కదా 47 అయ్యాను 47 అండి
यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai Radha Syama Sundara Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Jai Jagannath Swami Jai Jagannath. Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra. Jai Subhadra. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Hare Krishna. Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Devam Vishnupad Brahmans Parivraj Kacharya Ashtottara Shata Srishti Madhya Divine Jesi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Devam Vishnupad Brahmans Parivraj Kacharya Ashtottara Shata Srishti Madhya Divine Jesi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. आनंद गौड़ी वैष्णव की जाय। नमाचार्य हरदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय, श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगमय यमुनमय की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत भक्त बंधु की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All jai. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saras. Jai Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Sudhestari. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining. So we'll start the Bhagavad Gita class. I forgot to bring the box. Bhagavad Gita is there. We have English. Yeah, we distribute, give it to few copies at least. We'll have a little bit of a different style today. Have the purport read by few devotees. So Prabhupada have it done like that sometimes. So do something interactive. Maybe kids are there. Maybe the others. You can tell our youngster Krishna can come also. He can also read. Okay, let's start then. Others can take this book. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayat Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Om Tat Sat. Yeah, you can switch on the light. Maybe Bojraj Prabhu there. Another light is there. It will be down. If not, it's okay. If not, it's okay. Yeah, that may be better to read. Okay. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized, verse number 42 to 43 and 44. Three verses. Too much. First is 42 to 43. Yam Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschita vedavadarata apartha nanyat asti vadina कामात्माना स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदा क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम् भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचम् प्रवदन्ति अविपाश्चिता वेदवादरता पार्था नान्यत् अस्तीति वादिना यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचम् प्रवदन्ति अविपाश्चिता वेदवादरता पार्था नान्यत् अस्तीति वादिना कामात्माना स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदाम् क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम भोगैश्वर्य गतिम प्रति word to word yam imam all these pushpitam flowery vacham words pravadanti say avipaschitaha men with a poor fund of knowledge vedavadarata supposed followers of the Vedas Partha O son of Prutha Na never Anyat anything else Asti there is Iti thus Vadinaha the advocates Kamatmanaha desirers of sense gratification Sargapara aiming to achieve heavenly planets Janma Karma Palapradam resulting in good birth and other fruitive reactions Kriya Vishesha pompous ceremonies Bahulam various Bhoga incense enjoyment Aishwarya and opulence Gatim progress Prati towards translation by Divine A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Please repeat. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to the heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Okay, next verse, important verse. What is that? Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam. In the previous verse, what is it? Where it is a poor fund of knowledge, maybe in Hindi it is called Buddhu, I think, probably you can think of. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya aparata chetasam व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया अपहृत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया अपहृत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते. Any of the kids want to chant this verse as Krishna? Want to chant? You haven't heard, so you won't chant. Do you know how to chant? Okay, how about Smriti? Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya aparata chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi Samadho na vidiyate. Ravina, you want to try? You know how to read? Bhogaisarya prasaktanam taya aparata chetasam vyavasa atmika buddhi samadho na vidiyate. Krishna, you are ready? Maybe you will read paragraph, okay? Okay, you will read paragraph when I ask you, okay? Word to word. Bhoga, to material enjoyment. Aishwarya, and opulence. Prasaktanam, for those who are attached. Taya, by such things. Aparata chetasam, bewildered in mind. Vyavasaya atmika, fixed in determination. Buddhi, devotion service to the Lord. Samadho, in the controlled mind. Na, never. Vidiyate, does take place. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotion service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Repeat. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotion service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Offer our prayers first, and then we'll look at the purport. Yes, yeah. When we read the purport, we'll come to that. We'll explain that. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Grim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Denataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya वाचा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तों की जय। हरे कृष्णा, प्लीज कम, you can sit here, otherwise you cannot comfortable. Okay, so here first of all, first let's set the context, then we'll have the purport read by kids. Krishna, you are ready to read the paragraph? Be ready for the. We'll be reading from second chapter, 42 to 43 purport. We'll read first. And the next, yeah, be ready. Kids especially. We'll have them read. Read it. So here, second chapter, when Arjuna is in great distress and lamentation because he's seeing he has to fight with his own family members, Kurus. He has to fight with his own family members. That was the context. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra already, so 64 crores of men are assembled. Pandavas has 5 Akshonis and 7 Akshonis, means various battalions. Akshonis means a huge number of military. So, and the Kauravas had 7 Akshonis. This was the setting on the Kurukshetra, which is next to Delhi, the place. And then Arjuna is looking at, before that, he is the one who told, "Oh Krishna, please bring my chariot in between the battlefield, in between the army, so that I can see who and all are assembled on the battlefield." But as soon as he saw Bhishma, Drona, and various personalities, both sides, fathers, mothers, sons, grandfathers, grandsons, at different levels, so many different relationships he had. But then immediately he was completely became Mind depressed, distraught, completely went into the lamentation. Tears are flowing down. So mind was reeling. So all kinds of symptoms appeared. Then he couldn't. Then so that was the first chapter, lamentation. Arjuna Vishada Yoga, observing the armies. But then Arjuna Vishada Yoga is also called. So that was the first chapter sitting. Now the second chapter, it is called Contents of Gita summarized, where Krishna is laying out, because Arjuna's has a problem statement. He has a problem of identity crisis. He doesn't know whether he is the body, he is the soul. He doesn't know. From that is from the one angle. The other angle is the duty. He should fight or he should go to forest. That is another angle. So and the other is the motivation. So what should the motivation should be driven off of? So motivation driven off of material desires, or motivation driven off of Sanatana Dharma, motivation driven off of pleasing Krishna. So what should be? So the first chapter is setting that scene of in all these angles of so seemingly Arjuna is put into this bodily identification. So identity, he forgot his own position of servant of God, servant of Krishna. As even as a Kshatriya, he forgot the duty. Also, he forgot, and then the motivation, especially in terms of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, they are motivated by the material desires. No matter what result, they are not looking. They are not looking at the Sanatana Dharma. They are not looking at pleasing Krishna, but they are trying to see what best, how best they can enjoy. Doesn't matter what's going to happen to the others or rest. So that is this was the context. So then the second chapter begins. Then Krishna has to explain now. After Arjuna surrenders, in the beginning, a few verses are there where Arjuna gives more reasons. In the first chapter, 5 reasons he doesn't want to fight. And then second chapter he realizes, now I can't. There is no more reasons left. So I have to surrender. There is no other way. Even though I am on the battlefield, I have to surrender. I have to ask somebody's opinion, that is Krishna himself. He can only actually remove this ignorance, perplexity. He can only guide. So let me surrender. And that was 2.7. So the first section, there are 5 sections here in the second chapter. Very important chapter. First 10 verses are describing more doubts. Arjuna expressed the 5 doubts in the previous chapter, and the last doubt is expressed here in the first section, 1 to 10 more doubts. And then the next section is 11 to all the way till 29 or 30 is called Sankhya Yoga. It's just a much minute version of Srimad Bhagavatam, where it describes just details of the body and the soul. What is body? What is soul? Permanent, eternal, so temporary. So and body keeps changing, soul doesn't change. So soul is always active. So the in this way, Krishna acts. Soul cannot be born. Soul cannot be withered. Person who the body is always changing. So Bhishma and Drona's body is also going to change. They are already old. They are going to become. They are going to get new body. So don't worry. So they'll get new body anyway. So you might as well fight. So in this way, Krishna started explaining about the Sankhya Yoga. That is the second section. The third section starts from the 30 to 40. Mm, that is Sankhya Yoga slash Jnana Yoga, you can say, because body and soul, that is knowledge. And then he's talking about now duty. First problem was because he said, I don't want to fight because of compassion. I don't want to fight because there is no enjoyment. I don't want to fight because of sinful activities. To remove these doubts, Krishna has to cut those doubts first. So he has to give this knowledge. So that's what he did. And then the next section is now he's talking about the duty. Sinful activity. If you don't do the duty, actually you will incur sin. You will enjoy an heavenly planet. So even if you die, also you will go to heavenly planets. But if you don't do it, actually that's a incur sinful activity. So Krishna is removing the doubt, at the same time using the knowledge what is best to do. Is reminding him of a duty in the third section, Karma Yoga. It is called. Fight. So do your duty as a Kshatriya. Uh, that is the third section. Now the fourth section we are in today's verse, from verse number verse number verse number 39 or 40 all the way to 53 or 54. It is called next section is called Nishkama Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Bhagavad Arpita Nishkama Karma Yoga. You can say that means Karma Yoga. First, you have to know you should do duty. Then you should know that you should do your duty without attached to the results. Just like the bank teller. Bank teller doesn't matter. He will say, so whoever comes and he wants credit, okay, he will credit. If he wants debit, he will withdraw and give the money. It doesn't matter. He's not thinking that, oh, my money is going away, I'm getting more money. No, he's just doing his job as a bank teller. So in that way, Krishna is telling, do your duty because everything is dependent on the Lord. You are just instrument. Do your duty. So the establishment belongs to Krishna. Establishment belongs to the company, CEO or chief minister, prime minister, or whoever. But we just need to do our perform our duty. So in that way, Krishna is emphasizing his Nishkama Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Use your intelligence. Be intelligent. Be smart. Mm. In IT also, the smartness is there. Smartness means specific, measurable, attainable, reachable, targetable. That is what these days they are coming up with. That's also another way. But here also Krishna is telling, be smart in intellect in the inside the heart, not externally. The IT is talking about externally. But here internally, inward journey with conscious. Mm, Whom are you doing it for? So are you doing it for Krishna, for Guru? So that's what we have to see. That is what Nishkam Karma Yoga slash Buddhi Yoga. So then the last section is Samadhi. Krishna is talking about the characteristic of self-realized soul as Arjuna asked the first question in Bhagavad Gita. So 54 to 72. So in this way, this second chapter is laid out. Verse starts with Arjuna crying and sat down and is crying. So that was the setting. Asru purna kulekshanam visidam vidam vakyam vacha madhusudana. Sanjay is speaking. Sanjay is giving the context. What was Arjuna's position? Now Arjuna gives more reason. Then Arjuna surrenders in this. Now this year 42 to 43, 44. Now let's read the purport and we'll explain as we go through the purport. So who wants to read purport first paragraph? Can somebody read? Kids want to read? Both of you? One of you want to read? No? Okay, somebody else can. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Purport by Prabhupada. Yeah, go ahead. Do it quick. Already 7:53. People in general. A little louder. I can't even hear. Okay, stop there. So here, Mr. Prabhupada is explaining that people are in general are not very intelligent due to their ignorance. So the first we have to understand is what is this ignorance means. There are three modes: ignorance, passion, goodness, or sattva, rajas, tama in the Sanskrit. So ignorance means Bhagavad Gita. Krishna explains in the 18th chapter. Nidra alasyam pramada asurik sampada. So the characteristics of the ignorance first we have to understand. And Prabhupada says why people in general are not very intelligent due to their ignorance. So what is that ignorance character? Nidra alasyam. Nidra means sleep. Alasya means lazy. The third character is pramada, illusion. Illusion about what? Illusion. Nate vidhu swartha gatim durasaya bahirabdamanin andayatande rupaniyamana tepi satantra vrudam nibadre. That means they don't know what is the goal. What is the goal of life? A real goal of life they don't know. Real swartha gati. And they have the imperfect desires, or they don't know the what desire should have, what desire they should have. Swartha gatim durasaya. Durasaya. This is Bhagavatam verse. Nate vidu swartha gatim. This is Prahlad Maharaj in 7th canto. Bhagavad Gita also Krishna speaks. similar verses. Drasaya, in the ninth chapter, verse number 40, verse number I think 12 or 11 or 12. Mogasa, moga karmano, moga gnana vichetasa. Same thing. Ignorance. The person who is in ignorance of how you like. Mogasa, first is desire, just like Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Motivation is ill motivation. Mogasa is a desire itself. And then what you will do? As soon as the desire of ill motivation is there, what you will do? Naturally, you have to act. If somebody is jealous, somebody else has a new car, say, I don't have, so you should not have. So then automatically what you will do? When he has that motivation, then automatically when he speaks, when he sees the person, he is already in that mode. Then he will act, the anger will come, then the different way he will express. Mogasa, that's what the motivation automatically puts into action. So Mogasa, Moga Karmano, the action also will lead that. Moga Gnana, like the intelligence is also automatically spoiled. That is what illusion means. Moga Gnana Vichetasa. Yeah, that's why the word is used. Avipaschita. Pachita means seeing. Avipachita means is a lower mode. He's not actually really seeing as the one who is intelligent person sees. He's seeing for his own enjoyment. This is what that is the character. Nidra, alasyam, uh, pramada. So this is the first characteristic of the ignorance. So that is the first point. And then we have to understand the further. How to remove this ignorance. Due to their ignorance, they are most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas. Okay, go ahead, read the further. You can't even hear. You have to read little loud. We have prasadam afterwards. Yeah, okay. So here, they do not want anything more than sense gratificatory proposal for enjoying life in heaven, where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common. In Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planets, especially Jyotistoma sacrifices. So now the characteristics of the ignorance. This is the first definition of ignorance we have given, and now the characteristics of ignorance and how they will act. Bhagavad Gita again. So Bhagavad Gita gives all the details in the 17th chapter, 18th chapter, 16. Last three chapters has different levels of characters of ignorance Krishna gives. Uh, First thing we have to understand here is Vidhihinam Asrustanam. So that means whenever the sacrifice is performed, the person in the mode of ignorance, he will not consider that prasadam has to be distributed. Sankirtan has the Vedic verse, Vedic mantras has to be chanted. And the remuneration to the priest has to be given. So these are the three or four things Shastra describes. There's a verse I'm forgetting. Hold on. Yeah. Earlier verse I was quoting is 18.39. Yad agre cha anubandhe cha sukham mohanam atmana nidra alasya pramadottam tat tamasam udaharutam. Now we are talking about 17:13. Vidhihinam asrustanam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddha virahitam ignam tamasam parichakshate. So any sacrifice performed without regard for the directions of scripture. So just like here also it is mentioned that Prabhupada is talking about in the purport that they they do not want anything more than sense gratification activities where these opulence are available. In Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planet. So what kind of how they do? They will do sacrifices, but without understanding actually what is essence. So here in this particular verse 17.13, the Krishna is explaining that so they will do without regard for directions, which means without distribution of prasad, without chanting Vedic hymns, without remunerating the feast, and without faith. This is considered to be mode of ignorance. So that's why they generally we chant after doing any puja, generally at temple especially. There are verses. Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam janardana yat pujitam maya deva paripurnam tadastu me. Vidyahinam mantrahinam yat kinchad upapaditam. Can be aparata sahasrani kriyante aharni samaya. Where basically we are asking for forgiveness from the Lord because don't know the mantra to chant. We don't know the process. We may do it, but still there may be mistakes in it. Thank you for coming. Uh, don't have place, you can sit here. Avinash or Abanish, I'm forgetting names. So that relate to that verse. That is the point we have to understand. Then the other characteristics also in 17th chapter further Krishna explains that the penances sometimes they perform not only sacrifices, they also perform austerity or penance out of foolishness. Sometimes they do like Hiranyakasipu, Ravana. They did so much sacrifice, so many austerity. So on one leg, Hiranyakasipu was engaging in big austerity. Sometimes people do so fasting for days. Uh, Sometimes they they torture their body itself. So that Krishna is speaking. Penances are performed out of foolishness with self torture or to destroy or to injure others. People do even now. This is even India Western civilization also using the tantric mantras to put somebody within the family. Also, I have seen as devotees. Also, I have seen that within their family itself. So even we have seen in this examples within their family itself, they have put somebody has done some kind of this tantric yajnas to put somebody else down. So he can't actually do. His intelligence is taken away. So that also people do because they don't know what they are doing it, but they have to suffer the consequence as well. But this is what the motivation is. So penance performed out of foolishness, self torture, or destroy or injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. That is another one, another aspect we have to understand. And then one more is also very important is 17.22. Adeshakala yad danam apatrebhyach diyate asat avagnatam. This asat means without respect. So whenever we do sacrifices, puja or worship, anything we do, first we have to have a proper respect. The essence is important. That's why we are going to temple. We have to have a proper respect for the Lord, proper respect for the deity and the representative, especially Prabhupada, Founder Acharya, Samsthapak Acharya, wherever we go. So merit. That's why you'll see if you go to or Tirupati or you go to Ranganatha temple of Sri Rangam, you will see Sripad Ramanujacharya, or you will see 12 Alvars, Vedanta Desikam. So it's always because without Acharya, then no one can do deity worship because they have no power to establish a deity without, because they are the ones who are doing prana pratishtha is done through an Acharya. He has to invite the deity because he has a direct in touch in communication with the Lord. These are Nitya Siddha Bhaktas. They are not conditioned soul. They have come from the spiritual world to material world to reveal. So to reveal this absolute truth. So to deliver, to take us back. That is their purpose. So that's the respect has to be there. Proper respect, proper mood has to be there. That is the first thing. And then the second point, and attention has to be there. Mm. Yes, outside we were busy, but when we come to temple, we should have some attention, proper attention. Especially if you are sitting in a, we are sitting in a class, where sitting in some kirtan, there should be some attention. Yeah, this is very much required. Throughout Shastra is clear. Direct Krishna is speaking this 17.22. This third line in this verse. Asat Krutam means no respect, and avagnatam means no attention. So then then it's in the mode of ignorance. Then it won't actually give the proper benefits. So that's it. This is very important. Okay, now the read further. Now who read earlier? Okay, somebody else can read now. Other children, otherwise adults also can read. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. But do it fast. Running out of time. Yeah. So, desiring heavenly planet. There are three aspects Prabhupada explains or Shastra explains that just like if you find something on the road, there are three things can be considered. It could be a pen, it could be a money, it could be anything we find, watch or jewelry. Sometimes in temple also people lose it. But the person one is thinking that, oh, nicely I found, let me take it and enjoy it. That is the one category. That is what in this verse specifically is talking about in this 42 43 verse. Veda Vada Rata Partha. They are attracted to the flowery language of Vedas. That's why we'll see the words from great poets to me. So, or who is that to me? They don't know. They will write great poetry, but they don't know what is to me means. Or to me, Chamata, to me, Pita. All these verses. That's the Prabhupada never encouraged that particular prayer to be sung in the temple. Because you can sing that, but who is your father? Who are you talking about? Which mother, which father are you talking about? Do you know? So that's why it cannot be without actually understanding whom are you representing, who are you thinking about. Then we have to look at Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that Pita Hamasya Jagato Mata Data Pita. Krishna himself is directly speaking. I am the father, I am the mother. So Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is actually original father because who has given the seed giving father is Krishna. Aham Bija Pradapita. Krishna is telling. Um, in this way, we have to understand. So otherwise, so the boga, one is the category of bogi. One who is trying to think that it is my property, even though he found it on the road, it is somebody else, but he is thinking that let me use it and enjoy it. That is a category of bogi. That is a category of those who are on this forefront of knowledge. Krishna is speaking in this particular verse. Veda Vadarata Partha. These are the category of karmis or fruitive activities or bogis. That is the first category. Second category is the one who is found it, but then he said, no, this is not mine. So I'll walk away. So that is the rejection. That is the jnanis. They say that this I have nothing to do with this world. It's too difficult to do anything. I'll renounce. I'll go to forest. I'll go to Himalayas. I'll do something. So that is Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. So they say that this world is false. So that is a category of jnanis. Mm, and that is also not the proper uh, mood as per Sanatana Dharma, as per Krishna. Lord Krishna is speaking. So neither we can't become bogi, neither we are jagi. Because the first place we have nothing, nothing belongs to us, so we can try to enjoy separate from the Lord. And neither we can renounce. That renouncement also, Rupa Goswami explained. प्रापंचिकता बुद्धिया हरिसंबंधी वस्तुना मुमुक्षु फल्गु वैराग्यम कहते हैं मुमुक्षु परित्याग फल्गु वैराग्यम that falgu means false falgu there is in gaya there is a place gaya some of you may know that gaya is on the this river bed is called falgu river because outside sand is there if you put a hand there is water inside so it is like a false so in that way it is called falgu means somebody is trying to renounce externally they are taking a saffron trust, but internally they still have so many things. So they are also this Dani they try to renounce this world. Brahmasati. They reject this world and they want to merge into the Brahman effulgence. So they want actually in one they want to become God. That that is their idea. So but nothing is false in this world. It is temporary. Nothing is false because it is coming from the Supreme Lord. Nothing can be false. So it is just a temporary. This material world is temporary. It is not false. So everything, whatever we see. So in this way, that is a Tyagi aspect. One is a Bogi, one is Tyagi. The third, as the middle aspect, is the important aspect, which is Sevi. One who's pick up that thing, so it belongs to somebody. Let me give it to the person who it belongs to. So that is our position. So everything belongs to God. So we do our duty, we endeavor it, and we utilize it properly in the service of the Lord. So that is the category. But those who are too much attached, that so I forget that line because I never chanted those prayers, so I don't know. But the prayer, the Arati prayer, which generally most of the places wherever you go, you'll hear this song only. So and Prabhupada never allowed that song to be sung in our temples, because the essence is wrong. The consciousness and the conception is wrong. So if the Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu is in the center point, then there is no problem. But the problem is that that is not the conception. There is impersonal conception, Mayavadi conception, all other conceptisms are there. So that's why that was rejected. Same, it will say Jai Jagadish Hare is there, but the same Jai Jagadish Hare is there in Lord Nrsimha's prayer also. But that has a different essence and conception and consciousness, but the other one doesn't. So that's why we have to go through what Acharya has given, that's what we have to chant, not something else which is not authorized or prescribed. So that is what Sevi means. You follow what exactly Krishna is telling, instructing us to do. So in this way, we have to understand these three levels: the Bogi, Tyagi, and Jnani. So we have to no Bogi, Sevi, and Tyagi. So we have to become Sevi. That means we have to use everything in the service of the Lord. We have to understand the essence. We are going to do some kirtan chanting, as because this is what the ignorance. How will you remove it? The characteristics of ignorance, as we are reading. Why poor fund of knowledge? Then how will you remove this poor fund of knowledge? First important purpose is to chant the holy name of the Lord. Etavat Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinistha Janma Lava Parapumsa Ante Narayana Smriti. At the end of life, when we give up this body, we have to chant the holy name of the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, the holy names of the Lord. Ante Narayana Smriti. Whether you have the desires, no desires, full of desires. Etavat Sankhya Yogi. You could be Sankhya Yogi or Etavat Sankhya Yogi Abhyam Janmalava Parapumsam. You may be Karmi, you may be Gnani, but either way, for all these persons, the ultimate perfection, they all have to, otherwise, it is waste only. At the end, they have to come to this perfection only. So, the again and again, throughout Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna is saying, Antakale Chamameva. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2. Sukadev Goswami directly addressing Parikshit Maharaj. That one must, the final exam should be, final point they have to come to Ante Narayana Smriti. And there is another verse also where he is telling that chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, Etat nirvidyamananam ichatam ukto vayam yoginam rupa nirnitam harer nama anu kirtanam. Continuously, regularly, not once in a while, every day. Harer nama anu kirtanam means it is every day and regularly, continuously. So at least start with a few rounds. At least start with one round daily and then gradually increase but not decrease. Consistently, at least that one round has to be done. So those who are doing 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 12 rounds, 16 rounds, that has to be at least do consistently and then gradually increase the attention, increase the absorption, and then more and more. So rest of the day, how to be focused on that same chanting. That's a Hare Namanu Kirtan. This is essence. First instruction Sukadeva Goswami is giving to Parikshit Maharaj, that what he should do in 7 days. He should be focusing on the hearing and absorbing in the holy names. Then Ante Narayana Smriti can happen. As our King Kulasekara says, Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam. Let my mind be absorbed in the lotus feet, like the swans are attached to the lotuses. So like that, let my mind be absorbed and leave when my mind is angry and my consciousness is right. Let me leave the body. Take my body away at this time, because now I am conscious of your lotus feet. Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam Advaita Manasame Rajahamsa Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavata Pittair Kantavarodhana Vido Smaranam Kutaste. Smaranam Kutaste. Let me remember. So as I remember your lotus feet, then please allow me to leave at this time, because I don't know when I become old, my I may not be able to see, I may not be able to hear, I may not, my senses may not work. Then at that time it is so precarious, and we all can realize. Practical example is after COVID, we all can realize how precarious, how difficult situation it is. Mm. In our own life and in our families, we know many people has gone through. Some people passed away also. It's not, so no one has the capacity, that say. People are doing research, scientists and various people are trying to do research, but the ultimate research has to be done. Krishna is telling is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshan. How to conquer this birth, death, old age is that the actual research has to be done. That Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita. So that's why here the poor fund of knowledge Krishna is telling. They are not realizing that actually the sacrifices in the fourth chapter Krishna is speaking. The sacrifices supposed to be done. The five aspects in the sacrifice is there. That's supposed to be done for Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. If they do that, they are going back home. They are conquering this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. So otherwise, even Lord Brahma also will be in the same category. He has to also suffer. He has to take another birth also. No one is an exception. Anyone in this material world, including demigods also. Lord Shiva is above. He is not Jiva. But except him, the rest of the whole 33 crores minus him. So then everyone has to go through the same process. Abrahma bhuvana loko punaravartano arjuna mam upetya kaunte punarjanma vidyate. As you go up to the highest planet or lower, wherever you go, everyone has the same consciousness, maybe a little bit higher, more enjoyment, more facilities, maybe more of goodness, but still that is also binding only. So then that has to then Krishna says in 4.19 verse. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyo Brahma Karma Samadhina. The Samadhi. How will you go? Come to Samadhi means fixed up consciousness. Samyak Adiyate and Manu Adiyate. Means the mind is fully fixed on only one thing, the lotus feet. It doesn't actually it doesn't deviate throughout the day, 24/7. For whom it can happen. Only one who is actually practiced enough, 15, 20 years, 25 years, you practice, then he can do. But it requires a lot of practice. Are we not thinking? So we don't forget our children, we don't forget our family members, because every day, day in, day out, we are doing something, service. We are serving them, we are feeding them, we are dressing them, we are being in touch, we are talking to them. So that's why obviously we'll remember. Same thing with the Lord. If you are chanting, you are dressing Him, you are doing some service, then obviously you will remember. Just like it's not a difficult task. We think it's so complicated. This what is this chanting, hearing, and worshipping seva? I have so many obligations to do, and who has the time to do this? But in reality, if you channel it a little bit, gradually, slowly adjust your life, it's easy, and you like it. It will be so transformational. You will enjoy it also. It's just the way you channel it. That is the only thing. The way you adjust your work and everything else, balance it. That's gradually minimize and reduce the unwanted things, and then everything else will be perfect. So Krishna is also a person. So he also want attention. Our kids doesn't want attention. No. As soon as they come back from school, they want mother and father attention. The same thing. Krishna is also looking at as a deity. He is looking for attention. He doesn't want your food. He doesn't want anything. He wants your attention, your service, your mood of consciousness. He wants your love, loving exchange. That is what he wants. Nothing else. That is the only thing. What is that? Baba Grahi Janardana. He is only looking at the what consciousness, what is his attention. While chanting all, that's what he is looking at. People may chant like somebody is China, somebody is Philippines. You may not chant the mantra, exact mantra, pronouncing syllables, Sanskrit. Krishna is not looking at it. He doesn't know Sanskrit or what. He's not looking at that how he is pronouncing. He's looking at actually what consciousness he has, what absorption he has. That's what Krishna is looking at. So sometimes don't think that somebody is chanting, he doesn't know how to chant. I am the great chanter. So don't mistake that. So sometimes we do that as devotees. So we have to see their consciousness also. So, it is to do with the attention and consciousness. That doesn't mean that you can chant any way you like the mantra. If you know properly, then we should chant. But for some, the mouth doesn't twist. They can chant based on their birth, and they just can't, which is fine. They are trying their best to chant the way their capacity allows them. But idea is more is the intention that is more important, and trying to follow Guru's instructions. So here, verse Brahma, the five things are there. Krishna is telling that the sacrifices with the poor fund of knowledge has to be transferred. They have to understand that first is the ingredients, the fire and all the ingredients, what goes in the sacrifice, that belongs to Krishna. That has to be offered for Lord Vishnu. The person who is offering, that also he has to do it also for Lord Vishnu. The result must be for satisfying Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. The performance, the whole process. We should have a prayers. We should have a the proper worship beginning and ending. And then distribution of prasad. All these things as we discussed. So exactly these things has to be followed. The fire, sacrificial altar. These are 5 aspects. Means when you do the yajna, you set up the whole yajna kunda, and then there is a colors, then there is a murti, then you invite various personalities, Lord Vishnu and demigods, their positions, everything is very clear. So in the Sanatana Dharma, how all these 5 aspects has to be done. Everywhere Lord is in the center, in every aspect. The essence is the Lord. When one understands the sacrifices are meant for these 5 things, is meant for Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, then he's going back home, back to Godhead. If he does with that attention, with that essence, then his sacrifice is perfect. If he is not, then he has a poor fund of knowledge. He is thinking that I will go to Nandakanan garden and I will try to enjoy. But he is not realizing that how long can you enjoy? How long can you enjoy? Maybe a few years, but many lifetimes you have done the same thing. But again and again, you will not be guaranteed to even get a human birth. Then why to take that risk? Especially after going through the COVID, we really want to risk for what for? So that we have to realize. That's what here Krishna is telling. Go ahead and read the further. We're already late. Let's read quickly now. Enchantment thereof. Yeah. Important point. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to the heavenly planet must perform these sacrifices. Yes, even to enjoy any benefit, they have to perform. That is, there is no rejection of that point, because for anybody, everyone, including whether a brahmachari, grihastha, sannyasa, vanaprastha, whatever position, whatever wherever you are, for everybody, sacrifice has to be done. No one is the exception to that. Yajnadana tapa kriyanatyadyam yajnadana tapa pavanani manishina. It will purify everyone. The person will perform. But it has to be done with understand the essence. Understand the essence and do it, then it will purify. Yajna, dana, tapa, not tyajam. It cannot be given up. So even though they are sannyas means they think that I have renounced, I have nothing to do with this. No. But Sankirtan Yajna has to be done, even though you may not perform everything. But Srila Prabhupada went to the extent that because the idea is to engage. Okay, somebody wants to engage in Grahasthashram, what you can do? There is nothing there. That is not, Krishna is not rejecting that. So Prabhupada engaged those boys and girls mixing together. So he said, okay, now you have to get married. Before I initiate, first you better get married. So Prabhupada did personally engage in sacrifice also. He's so compassionate. So to such an extent that one devotee already got married. That was gone. So wife left and then second marriage. So this is in Vrindavan, I think. The Gurudas Prabhu and I think Amuna Mata's marriage or the another couple marriage at that time is happening. And then this is second couple. He also wanted to get married. This is second wife. Second wife. And she is pregnant also. Is a devotee. This is a precarious position of Prabhupada, what he had to deal with. And then what Prabhupada could do is asking again and again. Prabhupada understood what's going on. Then what he did, instead of him doing the yajna, then he asked Gurudas Prabhu, you do the sacrifice. So for him, he allowed, but he didn't do the sacrifice because as per Shastra, because he cannot accept that because this is not a proper conduct, proper behavior. So what can he do? So because he is as a guru has to be compassionate. So at least he is coming to the acharya and submitting finally after the mistake. Okay, then it's allowed Guru Das Prabhu to do that sacrifice for them. But then Prabhupada personally did the other sacrifice where they are properly religiously their proper conduct, proper behavior is there. So that is what Acharya doesn't reject. One wants to enter in Grihasthashram, no problem. Krishna doesn't reject. So it is only the attention, the essence we have to understand with. with for what purpose we have to do a particular activity. So that has to be understood. So otherwise, result will be something else. Result will be something else. We can't get actually perfection. Neither we can get even happiness either. Yes, shastra vidhim visrijya vartate kamakarata na siddhim na sukam parangatim. You cannot get happiness, even you cannot get perfection in this life or next life also. Because as soon as you give up the injunctions of Shastra, yes, Shastra wisdom, then that is what is going to happen. So then they, because that they have too many anxieties and desires. Chintam aprameyam cha. So beginning to end. Then, as in this verse, Krishna is telling, they are in the verse we read just now in this paragraph you are reading, they are most attached to the fruitive activities. Why is that? It is in the Bhagavad Gita, verse number, I forget, verse number 17th chapter. Tam apne miyamcha pralayantam upas, beginning to end, even to the end, beginning life till the end. They're always calm, bhoga parama, etavad iti nishchita. We are so fixed up. No matter what, I want to enjoy it. Day and day out. So I don't want to end this for anything. Because asa apasa sataya, they have hundreds of desires, not one thing, hundreds of desires. So kama krodha parayana, they are filled with anger and desires. Ihante kama bhogardham anyanardha. They will go to any extent. They doesn't care. Even if it is going to injure others, even if it is going to create havoc for others, no. I don't care. I'll do. So that is the mentality of those who are in ignorance. They are engaged, attached to fruitive activity. I want to go to Nandakan garden. I will do whatever way I want to do. So let me enjoy. So that is the extent to the which they will go. Hiranyakashipu, that's what he did. Ravana, that's what he did. The intent. He knows Vedas in and out. He can chant perfectly. But what is the essence? The attention is not there. Then the result will be something else. So that's what we have to realize. We're going to temple, if we are doing some chanting something or doing some puja, then what for? What is the attention? What is the essence? Whom are you doing it for? That has to be understood and we do it, then result will be perfect. Krishna will make sure that we get proper result. Even if we there is some some mistakes, Krishna will forgive because he's seeing actually this person has done with a nice consciousness is trying to come to me, come close to me. Then Krishna will help that person. So he will forgive those mistakes. So that is the key here. Okay, I'll read the second paragraph very quickly. 828 already. Bhavati. Yeah. Govinda. Kanan. So in this second paragraph, more elaboration is given. This what is this karma kanda means there are 4 months of chaturmasya period from all the way from June, July, the rainy season in India especially. Here I don't know, so it can rain any time, any season. But in general in India these days, even in India also sometimes rain happens in some other time also. But in general the rainy season is June, July all the way till November. October, November. So the 4 months rainy season, Chaturmasya, 4 months, there are four restrictions. Those times, people used to stay at one place, and there are certain rules and regulations, restrictions. But main essence was actually keeping the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna in the center and engaging in more time in the devotional activities in some form or the other. But there are prescriptions that in various Vedas actually Vyasdev was being condemned. Vyasdev has been condemned by Narada Muni. That Vyasdev was not happy after writing four Vedas, various Upanishads, and then various Purana. Srimad Bhagavatam was not written by that time. Then Vyasdev was not happy. He was thinking. Then Narada Muni came and told, yes, because you have diverted the attention of the whole population into so many different ways. They said, if you do this, if you worship this demigod, you will get this benefit. If you worship, if you do this sacrifice, you will get this benefit. You will become beautiful. You will get a nice wife. You will get a nice job. You will go to heavenly planets. You will go to Nandakana garden. You can enjoy Somaras. You can live there 10,000 years. All these ways you have diverted them. You have diverted from the attention from the actually you're supposed to bring them to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, because there's five types of worship is there. Pancha Mahayagna, Pancha Upasana, that is starting from instead of directly taking them to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, you have told them by the time they reach the fifth one, they by their lifetime is over. Again, another life start. Again, first start one. So that is first one is the Ganesha, Surya, Shakti, Shiva, then Vishnu. The five levels. The first level is Ganesha, then Surya, then Shakti, then Shiva, then the Lord Vishnu. So by the time people used to read and understand, they think otherwise when they read the Veda, that's what they are understanding that. So I can worship any demigod, I will get the same result. Or the so I don't need to worship any others. Let me just simply worship Ganesha or Surya or Shakti, the highest. So that's why you have Devi Bhagavatam. There are so many different types of scriptures where they may claim that this particular demigod is the topmost and highest and is the Lord, in all, and whatnot. So that's what Narada Muni told Vyasdev. And you have diverted. That's why you are not happy, and neither you made others happy. They themselves are for anxieties, and you are also Sada Samudvignadiyam Asat Gruhat. This is God, the Prabhupada Bhakti Note of explain. This is Jada Vidya. You have transferred from Sat Vidya, Brahma Vidya, Raja Vidya to Jada Vidya. Jada Vidya Mayara Vaibhav, Tumara Bhajana Bada. As soon as you diverted them to Jada Vidya on the bodily concept of life, then you are immediately putting them in nice, seemingly nice comforts. But anxiety, frustration, difficulties, miseries are there right away. So, Tumara Bhajana Bada. So, you shouldn't have done that. Now, you better write something which is actually beneficial for attaining actually the real peace in their heart, real happiness. Then that's when he has actually meditated on the Supreme Lord. And then he was in Samadhi. Bhakti Yogena Manase Samyak Prani Hite Amale Samyak Mayam Chata Dapastrayam. So then he saw the Supreme Lord in the front, he could see, on the back side he saw the material energy, actual energy as well. Then he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. That is called Samadhi Bhashya. Bhasyoyam Brahma Sutranam. It is a natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam. So the same thing, Ramayana also. Valmiki also just didn't write just like, he had thought about it and he didn't write just like that. No. 60,000 years he has meditated after Narada Muni has instructed him. He was a Mragari hunter. After 60,000, then he wrote. That's why out of all so many Ramayana, this is the famous. Because he has with great attention he has written. When he was in great Samadhi, he is completely fixed up. Direct in touch with the Supreme Lord. He is in face to face direct in communication with the Lord. So that's when only somebody can write something significant transformation book of Srimad Bhagavatam, this Valmiki Ramayana. So that's why it is mentioned Shastra is again and again repeatedly. One has any fear, any ignorance, any problem, they must read, they must hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Yasyam vai sruyamananam. Krishna Parama Purushe Bhaktir Utpaddate Pumsam Soka Moha Bhayavaha. So one must hear, one must read. Everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So all kind of, you have problem from ghosts, you have problem from anything. Everything can be removed. You chant Narayan Kavach from 6th canto, chapter, I think, chapter 18 or chapter 20, I forget. The whole verse, Viswarup is giving to Indra. Indra was afraid, Indra was thrown out. So against Vritarasura. So then that time the Narayan Kavacha mantras are given. Then he's been protected by this Narayan Kavacha. So those mantras clearly laying out each and every verse, telling what it will remove. Samadhi will remove diseases, Samadhi will remove the ghosts, Samadhi will remove our bad planets. So many different types of problem, health problem, job problem, what could be, family problem. All this, everything is laid out in that. So in that way, so every prescription is there. But ultimate point is essence is Lord Vishnu is in the center. Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is in the center. So in that way, we have to understand that is the essence. Everywhere you see the same thing. एवं कर्म मन प्रयुक्ते अविद्य आत्मन उपदीयमाने प्रीतिर्न यावत् मयि वासुदेवे मुच्येत देह योगेन तावत्. Ultimate point is liberation, but how will you get Pritirna yavat mai Vasudeva? One must develop love for Lord Vasudeva. Then only then he is karma, the fruitive mentality, the enjoyment mentality, as it is mentioned, the I will enjoy Somras, I can go to the moon planet, I can drink and I can eat, I can sleep, I can enjoy the way I want. Now my wife doesn't allow, my husband doesn't allow, my family doesn't allow what I want to do. So now I can do whatever I want in my own. So that's what they think. They want to engage in particular sacrifices. They want to attain there and enjoy. But Shastra is telling that they're going to simply miseries. Ya sansparsaja voga dukkha yono, the beginning to end. They think they are enjoying, but actually they are simply inviting the anxiety, misery, frustration, anger. So that automatically. So you can't get away from it as we engage in for wrong purpose. So then how to get out? Evam karma mana prayunkte. When your mind is colored with this fruitive mentality, then avidya atmani, avidiyamane, because it is because of ignorance. Then the last two lines is telling that Pitirna yavat mai vasudevi. Then your love has to be transferred to be the Lord. To the certain extent, Prabhupada is to tell that one time Prabhupada was walking in the Boweries in New York, 1967, I think. Prabhupada and Abhiram Prabhu were walking with the two other devotees, the three homeless people. This is almost like warehouses where place used to where warehouses, stolen things used to be there. It's a very dirty place and very bad place actually. These people used to want to sleep there. Was going the morning was there. Our bookstore used to be there. Printing press or something used to be there. Prabhupada was walking, going for morning walk there. And then he saw these three persons who are sleeping at that time. This is early in the morning walk, 6 o'clock or 6:30. It is little chilly, but not snowing at that time. These three personalities were sleeping at that time. Prabhupada didn't say anything. And as Prabhupada came close around them, then three stood up. They are not communicating. The three stood up like a standstill, and then they nodded their heads, and then they they head down a little bit like that. And Prabhupada said, Hare Krishna. So, because Paramatma reveals, the Acharya is directly in touch with the Paramatma. Then Paramatma could indicate to them, even though those have no conception, full of ignorance, is giving the opportunity. And the pure devotee is so compassionate, is ready to give the process of Krishna consciousness to those so much in ignorant condition. They are suffering, but still even to them, Prabhupada is ready to give. You will them because by simply offering their respects to the pure devotee, immediately that is a verse we are going to end with. 10th and 41, 10th canto, 10th chapter, verse number 41. How we can mitigate everything. Everything can be conquered in this world is by sadhu ram chitta ram. What is the verse? Forgetting. 10th and 41. I have to look it up. It's mind sometimes doesn't work. With this verse will end. It's a very important verse where it's telling that by the association of pure devotee, we may be in ignorance, we may be in distress, anxiety, everything can be conquered. So Sadhunam samachittanam sutaram mat kritatmanam. So the sutaram means excessively, completely. That means which sadhu? That sadhu who is completely and excessively so much attached to Lord Krishna and Guru. That is the first thing. Mat kritatmanam means his whole life is mat para, mat krita means is meant only for the Lord and Guru, nothing else. Period. Nothing else. It is only meant. One and only purpose. One point of attention. With that sadhu, if you associate sadhunam samachittanam sutaram mat kritatmanam darshanam na bhaved banda. Immediately your knots in the heart is cut. Now no more bondage. Darshanam. Simply by taking the darshan, like they taking darshan of Sri Prabhupada. Pumso akshno savitur yata. And Krishna gives example. Just like the sun god, sun is rising. Then as the sun rises, then there is no more darkness. The light has come up. Akshno, the eyes can see it. So in the same way, then they can see what is what, their reality. When one is face to face with the sun, there is no longer darkness for one's eyes. Similarly, when no one is when one is face to face with a sadhu, a devotee who is fully determined and surrendered to the supreme personality of Godhead, one will no longer be subject to material bondage. So that is the crux, that is the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the essence of the any scripture you look at, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Bhagavad Gita also you will see the same verse in the chapter 9. That taking shelter of Lord Krishna, my internal energy, as Daivi Prakriti. So Vetarag Vayakroda Manmayama Upasida. So many sages have taken shelter of me. Potamad Bhavamaga, they are purified. Same again and again, Krishna repeats in Bhagavad Gita also. This is Srimad Bhagavatam statement. So in this way we can understand. So now we'll stop here. Any questions? Children first. Any questions? We have understood this verse. No questions, children. Okay. How about others? Bodhiraj Prabhu, you have any question? You have understood? Okay, good. Anyone else? Yes. Avanish. Avanish. Yes. Crore is koti is same, na? English and Hindi is same. Crore means yeah? Million. In in English, it's 33 million. Maybe not crore, maybe 33 million. So yeah. But that's a expansion because 33 are considered as mentioned in before. Exactly, I forget the Dwadas Adityas, 12 of them, uh, Ashwini Kumaras, and then you have 10 more, right? 10 or 11. Uh, Vasus. Vasus are 8. 8 Vasus, 12 are 8, and then Ashwini Kumaras 2, 20, and then I forgot one more 10, right? 11 Rudras, 23, and then we are still missing. So, including even the Indra is there. So, but these are the principal, and then their whole families, and all together is 33 million actually. 33 million, yeah. But they are the principal, just like Indra is the administrative demigod. The 8 Vasus, they are the key positions, you can say. But otherwise, I mean, there is a deeper understanding also. We have to understand, the Shastra gives many details, but many times it's not clearly uh, laid out because otherwise there's a confusion. Uh, you take it for granted. The demigods are there in the spiritual world also, but those demigods are different from these demigods. So Ganesha is there, Saraswati is there. So these demigods are there in the spiritual world, but they are not the same as this. Mm, So they are Nitya Siddha Bhakta, they have attained their perfection there. But those who are here, the jivas are coming like each time Brahma is taking his position, then these demigods are given those positions. These are like a posts. We can become Ganesha, we can become Brahma, we can become, anybody can become. It's just there's a qualification. 100 lifetimes, one is executing the Sanatana Dharma. As per the prescriptions of the Shastra, somebody is doing activity without a sinful activity for 100 lifetimes, then he can become Lord Brahma. That is the qualification for Lord Brahma. For Indra also there is some qualification like that. Whoever meets that qualification, then they will be appointed to these particular posts. So they are jivas. But when they perfect it, then they will go to the spiritual world. Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, all including demigods also. They are all jivas only. So that's in the spiritual. That's why in Brahma Samhita this is mentioned. Brahma himself is telling that. So even the Saraswati there, the Saraswati is called Suddha Saraswati. The Saraswati in this material demigod is different from the spiritual world, Suddha Saraswati. So in that way we have to understand. So that's why in general when we say demigod, because if we say this, then people think that, oh, then I can worship Ganesha, I can worship Brahma, I can worship. They are the spiritual idea. No, the personality which we are thinking is of this material world, the worship. Because otherwise, if we are talking about the spiritual world, those personalities, they themselves don't want to be worshipped separately. They want to be servant of God. They want to be servant of Lord Vishnu. So that is their position. Yeah. Mhm. But I understood your question. Yeah, yeah, I understood your question. Understood your question. So, Prabhu was saying that, worshipping Lord Vishnu is not easy, very difficult. It requires a lot of attention. So, for demigods, it's easier. But Lord Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, yes, it's easier. Krishna is telling, rather, it's the opposite. Krishna is telling that. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toya. All I want is Lord Vishnu is telling that, yes, there's a process, there's a path of perfection is longer. Path of perfection is longer to actually to attain the perfection to enter into spiritual world. But still, even though we may be inattentive in chanting, we may mind may go, but still that is still considered a bhakti. So, but it requires practice. But Krishna is telling that for demigods you need so many things, and if you do it little bit inattention, then it may be a problem. The demigod also can become angry also. But in this case, generally, Lord Vishnu doesn't take offense or the as he doesn't become angry for himself. Only when he will become angry when it is offensive to his great devotee, his pure devotee. Only if you offend them or if you try to obstruct them, try to put some impediments or put them in danger, then like Hiranyakashipu was doing to Prahlad Maharaj, his own son, then Narsingadev has to appear. Otherwise, then Lord doesn't take for him. Like when Bhrigu was putting it on his chest, feet, pressing, he said, "Oh, your feet is so soft. My chest is so hard." That is Lord Vishnu's reply. He went everywhere. Lord Brahma was angry. Lord Shiva was angry. Everybody was angry. When he came to Lord Vishnu, it is completely opposite. He didn't expect that reaction. That is the position of Lord Vishnu in sense. That he is telling Patram Pushpam फलम तोयम यो मे भक्त्या प्रयति तद उपहृतम भक्त्या प्रयताम I forget no? Tad bhakti uparutam asnami prayatatmana. So simply by offering a leaf, water, flower, I can be satisfied. I don't need your great opulence like Duryodhana. I don't need all the so many items. I don't need to offer. I can be offered simple. So many times, many devotees in some of the temples, very simple worship. Yeah, that doesn't mean that you have capacity, you don't want to you become miser, you don't worship properly. No, that is not the idea. That if you have only simple things at home, you offer simple things. Still, Lord Vishnu. Best thing is offering tulsi leaves every day. So simply water, a fruit, tulsi leaves. If you offer every day tulsi leaves, want to please the Lord, that's all. It takes only a minute. Everybody can maintain tulsi plant. In the winter, you put under the plant light. You offer tulsi leaf every day at home, then that's all. You don't need to do anything else. Gradually, when you mature and time, gradually, then you can offer different fruits and then offer boga and all. It's a gradual process. But Lord is satisfied. For Vishnu, satisfaction is much easier than the actually demigod worship is so long, so elaborate. Elaborate. So here Krishna wants to dovetail our activities. Anyway, you have you want to eat anyway. Okay, you offer. Lord Jagannath is accepting 56 items every time. His offering is minimum 56. Throughout the day, 22 hours his altar is open in Jagannath Puri. He's accepting because anyway you have the enjoyment mental. You want to eat so many types of sweets, so many types of pakoda, so many types of items. Fine, no problem. Paneer, pasta, pizza, whatnot. Fine, yeah, I will accept. So in Jagannath Puri, I don't accept, but rest of the world I am established by my pure devotee, Sri Prabhupada. You offer me everything, I will accept everything. You can take it. So in that way, Lord is allowing for that purpose. Otherwise, the Lord is satisfied. If you simply offer, all Lord Jagannath needs is if you offer rice every day, so he's fine. He's satisfied. He doesn't need the elaborate preparation. Like when Lord Krishna went to Vidra, Vidra's house only went. He didn't go to Duryodhana. Duryodhana had elaborate feast. He didn't want to go because his consciousness is not there. He wanted actually a show. So Lord Vishnu doesn't like the show. He wants to actually he has some devotion, something in the heart. Some feeling is there. Actually, he really want me. He really want to please me. That intention. That is what he needs. So that's why he went to Vidra's house. And there is so much ecstasy that instead of banana, you're giving peels. Vidra's wife. The Lord ate even that also. That's why in that verse, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayat. That means he even that flower also. Flower also you will eat. Because if somebody is offering his devotion, then Lord is ready to accept even a flower, banana peels also. So that is the idea. So otherwise, Krishna is telling. So you have to take the statement of the Krishna only. You have to take the statements of the as per Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad. These two are the books. You cannot consider Devi Bhagavatam. You cannot consider so many other books. Then that doesn't make because this is the Vedanta. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the four Vedas, essence of the 108 Upanishads. This is Gita Upanishad. Out of all the Upanishads, this is the topmost. This is the essence. Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all the Vedanta Sutra also. At the end, after you read everything of lifetimes, then you come to the point, the essence, that is Bhagavad Gita. That is the foundation. Then you go more, PhD, then that is a degree, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. You go further more, then Chaitanya, that is PhD. So in that sense, Bhagavad Gita has to be read. Some people, I have nothing to do with Bhagavad Gita. What I have to do with Kurukshetra war? I have now elevated, I will read about Radha Krishna Leela. But Shastra, no. Devotee always read Bhagavad Gita throughout his life. He will never reject because that is the foundation. Because everything related to Krishna is Kurukshetra Leela or any Dwaraka Leela, Jagannath, every Leela is about Krishna only. So you'll be interested to hear and read any Leela. Is not so particular about Radha Krishna Leela only. So that is only the conception of the Prakruti Sadhiyas. So 20 or 30 categories, Shastra is mentioning that. So not imitate them, so not follow them. So that's why people are not interested in Vaishnavism because so many so-called yogis and swamis has made this Vaishnava religion a sex religion. So that's why people doesn't want to become Vaishnavas. When this Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada was there, this is what was going on. When Sri Prabhupada was there, also these things were going on. And that's why Prabhupada was so strong in his preaching all over the world, even in India also, all over the world. Right away, he never compromised. He never compromised wherever. And the pure devotee always being protected by the Supreme Lord. So they can preach because they are directly in touch with the Supreme Lord. Prahlad Maharaj is also like that because he's protected. He didn't care for Hiranyakashipu. So because he doesn't have any fear. Because what fear he has? Krishna Rake Krishna Mare Krishna Rake. If Krishna wants to protect, no one can do anything. It could be President Biden or it could be Narendra Modi, anybody. It doesn't matter. They have no way they can actually do anything to the pure devotee. When the Lord is protecting pure devotee, they can do. Hmm. So that's why they are always they are empowered. They are empowered by the Lord. They are coming from spiritual world. They are not coming from the material. They are not claiming themselves as God. So none of the bona fide acharya claim as God. That is another thing you have to see. That these days, either they when they are there, they themselves are claiming they are God, or when they leave, the spiritual master, when they leave, the disciples start making them as God. Both the things are wrong. And they will see in so many organizations making them, they are in the center, Radha Krishna is on the side. They are in the center, Lord Vishnu is on the side. Then what is the actual essence? Lord Vishnu is not the essence. Something else is essence. Then the whole thing is a failure, big failure. You may do so many great things, wonderful things, but it is ultimately at the end, Srama eva hi kevalam. There is no transformation. Neither you can lead others into transformation. So that's everything has to be go according to what Krishna has to say in Bhagavad Gita. What Krishna has to say in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then we can attain perfection. Pritanna yavat mai vasudevi. Mucheda deha yogena tavat. Otherwise, there is no possibility to attain actually perfection. Is that clear? Anushka? Yes. Go ahead. Anjana. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Jyotish Thomas sacrifice. I don't remember exactly, but the, this is Agnihotra, Jyotish Thomas. These all elaborate sacrifices to actually go to the higher planets. Particular specific sacrifice to attain a particular position, particular planet, and particular enjoyment. Jyotish Toma is specifically to get to the moon planet and enjoy Somaras and so many years of life we can enjoy moon. That for that purpose, this Jyotish Toma sacrifice is there. Exact elaborate details I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Prabhupada might have mentioned. We can look it up. But this is specifically for that purpose to go to the moon planet and enjoy for 10,000 plus years. So yeah, but many of these are rejected. For Kali Yuga, many of these are rejected because there is no proper priest to perform these. So then we are not qualified to perform this. So the Sankirta Yajna was prescribed. There are five things were rejected. Aswamedham, Gavavalambam, Sudottattir. There are four or five things are rejected in Kali Yuga, not supposed to be done. So that's a if somebody is performing, that means they actually they it's not proper because Shastra is rejecting in Kali Yuga. Those things are not to be done. So that's the best thing is to do is chanting should be done. That should be chanting of the holy names should be done. Anything prescribed acharya. Different acharyas might have given different names, different mantras. Like sometimes it's the Dwada Akshara Mantra, Narayana Om Namo Narayana. Sometimes it's Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If the acharya has given bona fide acharya and bona fide sampradaya, then that particular mantra has to be chanted. But otherwise, it won't have a result. So, sampradaya vihinaste mantraste viflamat. If somebody has given mantra without coming through a disciplic section, he hasn't received this mantra through a disciplic section, even though mantra is available in the Shastra, in the book, people may know, but a result won't be there. He may chant for 100 of years, but he may not get, he will not get transformation because this has to the mantra has to be given through disciplic section who has the power, who is directly in touch with Krishna. That personality has to give in the heart of a disciple. Then he has to. Then actually it can transform. Otherwise, it won't lead to transformation. Okay, with that we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Gandhara, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktan ki jai.